Welcome, everyone. So today I'm going to start with a snowman that looks an awful lot like the a snowman you guys may have made in class. But notice that this snowman has two things going on that I told you guys not to do. First of all, he's got a nose, which I said might cause problems, and he's also got a top hat, which has a potential to cause problems as well. Today's topic, hopefully, if you're very careful about your armatures, today's topic is something that you may never have to use. However, if we have an armature that is assigned to the wrong part of a mesh, we want to be able to fix it rather than just having to redo the armature. So today we're going to learn about vertex groups, and we're going to learn about how our vertex groups are assigned to bones. So let's take a look at our mesh for a second. This is our mesh in edit mode. The reason that extra vertices need to be at the bending areas of our armature is because some of these vertices get assigned to certain armatures. So when you guys create your parent-child relationship, what's actually happening is that some of these vertices are getting assigned to the object. So for example, in a perfect world, this forearm right here, this bone, would get these vertices. These guys right here. Those should be all of the points in our snowman that belong to this particular bone. Sometimes what happens is we don't end up with the right vertices getting parented to the correct bone. So today we're going to see how we look at the vertex groups and how we fix them. All right, so I'm going to select my snowman again. Now, for the most part, my snowman works okay. Let's take a look at his arm over here. This arm looks pretty good. That looks fine. His bottom half moves the way I want it to. But if we look at his right arm, there's a problem. Now, you may notice that my armature is not perfect. The problem that I'm about to show you most often happens when we're not careful about creating our armature. I purposely messed up this arm right here to show off how we might end up with a problem. And if we look at the snowman from above, we can also see that I haven't been careful about making my armature very centered. Right? This armature is a little bit back and askew, so that might cause problems as well. Hopefully, if you've been very careful about creating your armature, you'll never have this problem. But here's the problem I'm going to illustrate. If we select this bone, watch what happens when I try to move it. My face moves. Now, obviously, that's a problem. That means that this arm not only belongs to this bone rather, not only has vertices on the arm, it also has vertices connected to the face for some reason. So here are the steps that we're going to follow to fix that. We want to make sure that this bone is only connected to these vertices. And I've created some steps here in my stickies to outline for you guys. We are going to work on fixing armature weights today. Step number 1 is to find the name of the bone that we're having a problem with that's broken. The way that we do that, so this whole thing is an armature. If we look at our outliner window, we can see that it's called armature 1. But if you open up an armature is made up of all kinds of bones. And in our editor window, or in our 3D view, if we select a bone, its name appears down here. So for us, the bone that's broken is bone 005. So let's take a look at the vertex groups that have to deal with 005. So after we find it, we need to select the mesh, go into edit mode, and then locate some vertex groups. So let's do that. Select the mesh. Here's our mesh, right? This is not the armature. This is the object itself. Go into edit mode, and we are going to find our vertex groups. Our vertex groups are located under the upside down triangle. We used this guy before for auto smoothing. Today we're going to use it to look up vertex groups. And here's our list. Notice that we have one vertex group for each of the bones in the armature. These are all of the vertices that have been assigned to our bone. And if we take a look at one, let's take a look at bone I don't know. Let's take a look at the 9th bone. If we look at the 9th bone in our armature and we click select, it's going to show us what that bone is attached to. It looks like that must be our head bone. Bone number 9 must be our head bone because it's attached to all the vertices up here. And I can see which vertices are connected to this bone by pressing select. If I press deselect, it makes it go away. So I can see any of the bones by doing that. Let's take a look at the bone that's causing a problem. That bone is bone 5. So bone 5, remember, is this bone right here. If there wasn't a problem, then we should only see these vertices when I click select. But look at that. Not only is the arm attached to the bone attached to the arm, it's also attached to the forearm and these pieces of the mouth and the eye and the nose. So this bone is definitely not doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's got completely wrong vertices attached to it. So let's take a look at what we have to do to fix this. I'm going to move some of these out of the way so we can see what's going on. So we found the vertex group and we've selected the vertices. We now need to remove them from this vertex group. These guys are causing a problem, so we want to go in here and we want to remove all these vertices. And we did that by clicking remove. We can check to make sure that worked by clicking, by just pressing A to get rid of everything and then clicking select. Notice that right now, this group is empty. So, after we've removed the vertices, we need to select the vertices that do belong and then click assign. Okay? So, let's do that. We only want this portion of the arm to be assigned to our bone number 5. So I'm going to use C-select. I'm going to grab these guys. And now that should be good, right? That's all we want for our bone. So I click assign. And hopefully that will fix my bone problem. Let's take a look. We're going to select our armature. We're in pose mode. We're going to go to bone number 5. And there you go. Our bone only moves that particular piece of our arm. So vertex groups found underneath the little upside down triangle when we're looking at a mesh. Remember that each vertex group corresponds to a bone, and each bone should be assigned only a certain set of vertices. So if we create an armature and something doesn't look quite right, but we think we've done a good job and we don't want to completely redo our armature, then we can start manually going through and fixing our vertex groups. Short lesson for today, but one that can be really, really useful when dealing with armatures if your armatures are causing a problem. Thanks for watching.